You got to be nice to me now. My son's here.
Nick, what went into the decision to go for it on fourth down late in the game instead of kicking that field goal?
We just had to do what we felt was best in that particular moment with the weather and everything. I don't want to get into anything else really there, and we just felt like that was our best option in that particular case.
What was the feeling on the sidelines when you guys were down 14-0? How did you feel, the guys? Obviously they responded, but what did you feel in the moment?
Felt like we've talked about adversity, right? Have we faced a lot of adversity? Not really, right? In 3 games we probably haven't. We had a battle up there in Detroit, but have we faced a lot of adversity? Not really. And so it was a great opportunity to say, hey, we've talked about this, we've discussed this. You guys are built. You players here, your reason you're here is because you're built to be able to handle adversity. Not every game's going to be pretty. Not every game's going to be. It's going to be muddy sometimes, and it was muddy right there. And our guys just buckled down, and defense I thought was playing well. Yeah, they let up a long drive, but it was 14-0 because we spotted them 7. They made a good play. I don't want to say that we spotted them 7. They made a really good play. They got a good pressure on, and then they made a good play there and finished it for a touchdown. And so, beating down 14-0, it's a long game, right? Just like it's a long season. And what a good example there of like, okay, hey, we're 4-0 right now. You just got to play the next play. And you got to play the next game. And you got to do that same thing in the midst of a game, not just week to week.
As far as the other Miles, what was working for Miles Sanders today? And was the plan?
Miles Sanders is our number 1 back. There ain't no question about it.
And was the plan, was it to run as much as you did, or did the conditions factor into that?
Hey, we'll do whatever we need to do to win the football game, and of course, conditions are we're gonna play into that. We look at everything, we take everything into account, and we were running the ball really well. I think that second quarter, our offensive line was rolling, and that's a good defensive line, and I've known that going back to my Indy days. That's a really good defensive line, but our offensive line, I'll take them over anybody in this league. I love that group. They're gritty, they're grimy, they're tough, they're physical, and we had to play some guys today. And you can see what a good job that Coach Stout does of developing guys and getting guys ready to play that might not play. And Jack Driscoll, Sua, right? Those guys stepped in and did a really nice job. And I told you this: nine sacks, you get a game ball defensive line. 200 yards rushing, you get a game ball offensive line. If I had 8 game balls, I would have thrown them out right there. Greg didn't have them ready for me quite yet, though.
Nick, in the final 2 minutes of the first half this season, all 4 games you've scored. You've actually scored 5 times twice against the Vikings, like 26 points total. What is it about those drives where you guys have been so successful?
Quarterback play, playing really good and really poised in that scenario. We spend a ton of time talking about situational football, a ton. And that's a tribute to the coaches I've been around in the past of how important situational football is and the amount of time you spend on it. You emphasize things and you get things, but don't make no mistake about it. Our players are doing a great job executing it. Shane and Kevin Patullo does a great job of, Kevin does all the kind of the scouting report for it and getting us ready for it and kind of putting together thoughts for it, and we talk through it, and Shane does a great job calling it in that scenario. And what unbelievable opportunity I have to be able to say, Shane and Kevin, you guys are rolling right here, you got it, let me handle clock management with our guys upstairs, and we just go. And so that's us being able to say, be able to do that. And then we got really good players executing, right? Our offensive line protects their butt off in those scenarios. Shane calls it the right way with as far as going for run and then going to pass and this and that. Jalen's in complete control. AJ, Dallas, Devontae, Quez are in that scenario. Kenny Gainwell's our protection back and our scat back in that area. So it's just really good operation by the entire unit. Players first, coaches after that.
Each week, a different part of your offense has contributed, whether it's wide receivers, the offensive line, and the running backs. How good is it for you as a coach to kind of know that whatever game situation is, that you can have confidence that you can can kind of win in any kind of.
I think that's what it is right there, confidence, right? And so some of the fourth down calls right here, I was able to have confidence in our team to go for it, confidence in our offense line, confidence in our backs, confidence in our receivers if we were throwing it or running it, right? Confidence in our defense that if we didn't convert it, that they'd make a stop. So I think you said it right there, is confidence. And it's great when you're able to win different ways, right? It's great when you're, do you ever want to get in a 14-0 hole? That is not ever, it's like, hey, we haven't been in a 14-0 hole, let's get into it. That's not our thought process, but it was great to be able to win different ways, and it's great to be able to win on different units and lean on different units. So great job by those guys today.
Nick,
Well,
you
the
have to send a
environment,
message with the
The environment.
I'll come back, Ellie.
What does it tell you about the quarterback? I mean, you saw Trevor turn it over 5 times. Obviously, really difficult weather. What does that say about Jalen Hurts to be able to play?
He knows how important it is to take care of the football, and he can do it, right? And he can go out there and execute and take care of the football. So it's huge. Because that's such a key. It's such a key to winning and losing games, and I think that even elevates when it's messy outside. And so it was great that he was able to execute under the conditions that we are in, because it was messy out there. It was really messy, and I know Howie talked to me, asked me after the game, was like, did it get worse during the game? And I'm like, yeah, it got a lot worse, and it got messy, and the ball got a little bit wet. But our players are communicating with us what they think here and there. To have guys like Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Isaac, those guys are able to communicate with you, tell you what's working, feel what's working, how the defense is playing. That's huge.
Nick, you often use your T-shirts to send messages. I see you have the Roxborough High School shirt on. What's kind of your message to them?
I grew up going. One of my best memories growing up is. Being able to do the things I was able to do on the football field as a little kid, whether that's pretending I'm Marcus Allen and jumping over the pile, and setting the dummies up and jumping over the pile, taking a handoff, or if it was giving a player a water bottle. I looked up to certain guys there. Obviously I looked up to Mike Sirianni and Jay Sirianni. That was the starting quarterback, starting wide receiver. I looked up to Pete Conley, who was the starting fullback and halfback. I looked up to John Briggs, who was my brother's best friend and his receiver, and to be able to hand them a water bottle and say, and so I have so many vivid memories about that, and I just feel bad for the kids that they didn't feel safe, maybe don't feel safe going there, and so my heart goes out to them. My thoughts and prayers go out to them, and hopefully they feel safe going back and playing a game that can help take us out of bad situations, not put us in bad situations.
Your interactions with Doug like before the game?
I have so much respect for Coach Peterson. He first and foremost, I've heard that he's one of the best people in this game, and from multiple outlets, people in this building, the people that have played for him, people that I know that have coached with him, that he's a top-notch person, and obviously you see what he's doing with his football team. He's got this football team. You're doing a good job being quiet, buddy. He's doing a good job with this football team, and that's a tough team. That's a good football team, and he's got them confident and believing. And so, interactions with him are just I like to tell it when I feel like a guy's a really good coach and's got a really good team. I like to tell him. Best compliment I can get is like, hey, your team is really well coached, and that's so I like to pay that compliment to guys that I believe that about. And there's no doubt in my mind the Jacksonville Jaguars are really well coached and in really good hands with Coach Peterson.
Hassan Reddick, you've been telling us to wait for it, and finally it came. How incredible was it to see him have the game that he had?
What's great about Hassan, and how he was just talking to me about this, he's a guy that has been able to force a lot of fumbles, not only get to the quarterback, but force a lot of fumbles. And, we talk so much about creating turnovers and how you create turnovers. And there's definitely things we can do as coaches to take it to another level. But make no mistake about it, it's about the players creating the turnovers. And good players know how to create turnovers. And Hassan, man, and I said to him and Sean Bradley and Kaiser White after the game, like, hey, there ain't nothing like winning in Philly, because they know about that, right? And they know about especially Hassan and Sean playing here at Temple, and they're quick to tell me at Temple they had college game day here, stuff like that. And so it ain't nothing like winning in Philly, and I'm glad we got some Philly guys here that we're winning with.